Sup, Henry? No, I'm still on break here. Probably for another 15 minutes. What's up? No, you can't go on break. Not till I'm back. Well, because we need a man to man the manhole. Look, if you go on break and if someone falls in there and breaks their leg, that's on you, man. That's not on me, that's on you. Hey, Henry, caught some people spying on me here. Gotta run. Hey guys, didn't see you spying on me there. I just got a call from someone on my crew. My crew, I work with a crew of guys. Crew means a group of co-workers. All right, so usually if you work on like a construction job, you will work in a crew. The crew might have 5 people, or it might be a big crew, maybe it might be like 8 or 10 people. You might have seen on the news there's been a big water break in Calgary. The whole area of Calgary and Airdrie and everything it's pretty bad. There's a main water pipe basically that broke in Calgary, and now the crews are working. A lot of crews are out there working really hard trying to fix it. So yeah, it's pretty big news here. Even all across Canada, people are talking about it. The Calgary, one of the main water. Now everybody in Calgary has to take like short showers. They basically have to save as much water as they can. So I'm just out here, working on a crew trying to fix the water problem here. So yeah, I just got a call from one of the guys, my buddy Henry, on my crew, and he wanted to go on break, and I'm on break, and if we're both on break at the same time, well, there's not going to be anybody there to man the manhole, right? A manhole is one of those like round holes in the street, right? So if people, like if crews are out fixing something underground, something with the sewer or some kind of pipes, there might be the manhole cover is taken off, and then there's just a hole, and that can be dangerous if you're walking along the street and you don't see the hole and you fall in there and break your leg. All right, so I was telling my coworker Henry, if he goes on break now, nobody will be there to man the manhole. So if someone falls in there and breaks their leg, that's on him. That's not on me. On him means that's his responsibility. It's not on me. It's not my responsibility. It's not my fault. It's on him. Okay. So guys, do you know what this means? To man something. Look at this sentence. I said, we need a man to man the manhole. We need a man to man the manhole. What does that sentence mean? Do you understand what it means? Well, man, the first man is a person like me. I'm a man, right? The second man is a different kind of man, right? It's a verb, right? Every sentence has a verb, right? So what's the subject of the sentence? We need we need a man. Well, man is a noun, right? The subject of that sentence would be we. We need a man, noun, to man. To man. That's a verb. What does it mean? Do you know what it means? If you don't know what it means, smash that like button, because I'm going to teach you what it means, all right? So, to man something means your job or your responsibility for a certain thing, for a certain area, or a certain, like, your responsibility over a certain thing. So in this case, the thing is the manhole. Okay, so I'm on break. The other people on my crew are also on break, and it's just Henry there to watch over the manhole to make sure nobody falls in there. Okay, so his job is just to stay there at the scene, right? That's where we're working. His job is to stay there and to watch the manhole. He just needs to sit there and just watch it so that nobody falls in there, right? So what's he doing? He's manning it. It means that's his area of responsibility. It's like his job, his work. I mean, all of us are actually going in the ground, working on the pipes and stuff like that. But right now, his job is just to man the manhole. Okay, that's his job. So to man means that's your area of responsibility. And this has nothing to do with a man, the person kind of man. A woman can also man something. Okay, so I'll give you some examples. Let's say you are a woman and you work as a cashier in a grocery store. Okay, then your job is to man the till. To man the till. The till is the place where you check out, right? You scan all the products, beep, beep, beep. It'd be $600. 600? Yeah, that's how much groceries cost these days. If you have a family of maybe 4 or 5 kids, or let's say there's 4 or 5 people in your family and you go to Costco, you go to a grocery store, you buy some food for a week or 2 weeks maybe, your bill is going to be $600. Probably, right? So that's your job, okay? Your job is to man the till. That area is called the till, and your job is that's your responsibility. Your responsibility is not to clean the toilets. It's not to work in the back. It's not to stock the shelves. It's to man the till. Other people can they have their own jobs, right? They man their own things. But your job is to man the till. Okay? Or let's say you work in a hotel and you work at the front desk. Okay, so then you could say, my job is to man the front desk. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you say the same thing. You say, my job is to man the front desk. That's your area. That's your responsibility. You need to man it. Okay, or let's say you work as a telemarketer. Or let's say you work as a receptionist in an office or something like that. You could say, my job is to man the phones. My job is to man the phones. You might hear people say that. So like the phones, it's just you're making a lot of calls. Your job is to pick up calls and make calls. Maybe you're like a secretary, or maybe your boss is the office manager, and you're a secretary. Your job is to basically man the phones. Okay, that's your responsibility. And of that type of job is the phones. Okay, so this word, it's always used after. When we talk about the word man as a verb, to man something, the next word is going to be a noun. It's not the action it's usually just the noun, okay? So the examples I gave you: man the till, man the front desk, man the phones. Or let's say you're a cameraman, you're making a movie. There's a whole crew of people, right? There's the director. The director is the one who's like, you know, directing everything. The director for the movie isn't holding the camera. This is another person's job. Another person's job is to man the camera. Another person's holding the light, the microphone, right? They hold the microphone on those long poles, and the microphone is like above people's heads. You could say, my job is to man the mic. Okay? So you have all these different jobs, and people man the noun, whatever it is. Or let's take another example. Let's say you work as a firefighter. A firefighter, and there's a fire in your city, and so your crew, right? You work on a crew. There might be, I don't know, 5 or 10 people in your crew. So you all get in the fire truck and you drive to the fire. And then what happens there? When you get to the fire, what do? Well, everybody does something different, right? Why? Because you all have different roles. So one person mans maybe the fire hydrant. Okay, you know, the fire hydrant that comes out of the ground. It's where the water is. Maybe that's your job. So then you would say, my job is to man the fire hydrant. Maybe another guy's job is to man the ladder. So he gets the ladder, he puts the ladder up. Maybe let's say the fire is in a condo building, and the fire is like on the 5th floor of a condo building. So you need to climb the ladder up there and, you know, save the people and put out the fire and whatever. So maybe one person's job is to man the ladder. Another person's job is to man the truck, the fire truck. Another person's job is to man the hose, right? You got to put the hose, get the water or the whatever you're doing, how to get the fire out. I don't know much about firefighting, but you know, everybody's got a different job. So, you know, you can say this sentence: my job is to man the... Let me know down in the comments. What's your job? What do you do? What do you man? What do you man? For me, my job is to teach you English. So I man the camera. I'm holding a camera right now. I'm manning the camera. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm manning the camera. Okay, I wouldn't say I'm manning the teaching. I'm manning the English lesson. No, this is something physical. By noun, I mean something physical. Usually, okay, that's how we use this. So all the things I mentioned, all the examples, are physical things. Camera, fire hydrant, front desk, till, phones, you know, so many different examples we could make, right? You know, there's a lot of different jobs in the world, right? And most jobs involve, you know, doing something with your hands, holding something, or, you know, being responsible over a thing. Like with my buddy Henry, who's manning the manhole. You know, he's manning it means he's watching it. That's his job, right? So guys, let me know what sentence can you make down in the comments with this verb. It's an interesting verb. It's a pretty advanced verb. I haven't heard too many English learners use this verb. So if you use this verb, it will show that your English is actually very advanced. Okay, so it's really good to use. It's a normal verb. It's a normal word. You know, like if you work on a crew, let's say a landscaping crew. Landscaping means taking care of like a yard or any kind of like outdoor space, like maybe a golf course. If you work at a golf course, it's, you know, basically landscaping. You're maybe I don't know, you're maybe like putting in new grass, or you're cutting down a tree, or you're doing something to make the land a little bit different. So you're scaping the land. That's why it's called landscaping. Okay. So if you work on a landscaping crew, you might work with 4 or 5 other guys. And mostly here in Canada, physical labor jobs are done by men, typically, and maybe that's why we use the word man as a verb, because most jobs that have involve physical labor, most of them are done by men. I mean, if you go to a construction, how about in your country? Let me know. Maybe it's different in your country. But here in Canada, if you see like a house being built, and you go watch that house being built, you will probably see, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 guys walking around doing the framing or the shingling or whatever, the concrete, all the different things that go into a house. They're mostly men, right? Maybe you might see some women in construction jobs, but typically it's men here in Canada. How about in your country? I think that's how it is in most parts of the world, right? I've been to, I don't know, maybe about 20 countries in my life, 25 countries. And I've noticed this, a lot. I'm thinking about the countries I've been to. Any kind of work, like even airport workers, the baggage handlers. When you're sitting on a plane and you look out the window and you see all the people throwing the bags and driving those little tractors and stuff like that. Most of those are men, right? So maybe that's why the English language uses the word man as the verb. I don't know. That's just a theory. I could be wrong. Okay, but it's a verb, to man. To man something. All right, so what do you man in your life? What do you man? Remember to take responsibility for something. If you're manning something, do a good job. Otherwise, if there's a mistake, well, then that's going to be on you. All right? Because typically, when you use this, you very often jobs, you might work in a crew of people, but everybody has their own thing that they're manning. So, but you could be manning something together. Like if you work in a hotel and you're working at the front desk, there might be 3 or 4 people working at the front desk if it's a really big hotel. Usually there's only one person manning the front desk. Or let's say in a hospital, if you are a doctor or a nurse, you might have a team of people that you're working with, and you could say, we are manning the emergency tonight. Maybe you rotate. Maybe you work let's say 1 week you work in the emergency, whatever. Another time you work in another part of the hospital or whatever. You could say, we're all manning emergency tonight. We're manning the emergency. That means you're there. Your job is to be in the emergency department of the hospital. And when the ambulance brings sick people in emergencies, then your job is to take care of them, right? Because you're manning the emergency department in the hospital. Does that make sense? So guys, there it is, manning the manhole. So I told Henry, we need a man to man the manhole. All right, so we need a man to watch, to make sure, nobody falls into the manhole. Have you ever fallen into a manhole? That would be, you'd break your leg for sure, right? If you jumped into it with both legs, you might even, I don't know, die. How deep are those manholes? I'm not even sure how deep those are. I'm not actually working on a crew, guys. I just made up that story. I just made it up. I don't know anything about fixing pipes or sewers or any of that stuff. But it's true that the water break happened in Calgary. You know, one of the main water things broke, or I don't know what happened, but it's a big problem in Calgary. And so whose fault is it? I don't know, probably the mayor's fault. Calgary doesn't have a good mayor right now. I don't know, she's not a very competent person. Competent means you're good at your job. You're you do a good job at what you do. Are you competent at your job? You know, if you're not competent, then you're incompetent. Like, if you're a competent doctor, that means you actually help people get better. You know what to do. You know, what do you think about my English teaching? Am I a competent English teacher, or am I incompetent? Let me know down in the comments if you think I'm competent or incompetent at my job. So guys, that's it. Better head back to work so Henry can go on a break. So then I will go back and I'll man the manhole, and then Henry can go on break. So that's my plan for the day, to man the manhole. We need a man to man the manhole. And it's funny because there's the word man is 3 times there, right? One is the person, one is the hole, and the other one is a verb. And that's the advanced thing that I wanted to teach you today. So let me know what you're manning today, guys. And that's it. I think I covered everything. So if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. And as always, I hope you're having a great day. Hope you're staying safe, healthy, and happy. And I love you so much. And as always, I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.